I came in on the American leg when I had started. It's a giant show. Just coming in and getting it all together the first couple days was a daunting task, but having a great team behind you, like our video director, Gene, had just like an actual vision of what he wanted to implement. So it's just so much easier on a programmer's side.
M72 tour, 360 stadium size tour, started in 2023. We are, I think, the biggest show out there. 40 cameras, 32 live cameras at any time, 24 discrete surfaces of LED, miles and miles of fiber cable. Too many stats to remember, to be sure. Show as a whole, we have Dan Braun, he's our show designer. He comes up with these ideas and concept for songs and the show as a whole, and sort of sits with Rob Koenig and I. Rob's our lighting designer, and it's a really good brain trust and exchange of ideas, and we all powwow really well about what we kind of see and how we can make it happen. And once we get Dan's ideas, it's up to Rob and I to put them into the real world application.
Into our machine, I get 4 different ME cuts from our director. I have all my screens set up, and then I use a lot of layer referencing because I use treated IMAG, so I can just copy paste treated IMAG. Layer referencing is a very powerful tool, and I use it a lot during the show.
A big part of it is coverage, right? Because it's a 360 show, that we need to be able to cover every angle of the stage. So that's why the camera count's so high. But it is certainly a brain twist of 3 buses to cut and 32 cameras on each bus.
I think we probably have about 50 different mappings during the show. It's all about perspective because we don't want it to be one static thing the entire time. So Gene's direction of where he wants everything placed, so it plays with people's minds so they're not just seeing the same flat thing across the show.
Yeah, so the M72 tour, it started off as the no repeat weekender, so essentially 2 shows a weekend. Each night we do a completely different set list. It makes it more challenging from a service point of view because you have to have twice as much content, twice as many tracks, twice as many songs.
There is no set list. The band basically writes the set list out while they're warming up in rehearsals, and we get the set list right at the start of set change.
We don't know what songs are going to get played every night, and the band has an extensive catalog, so we have to be ready for anything and everything. I don't even know how many songs we have programmed.
I mean, I have probably 60 songs that are set at any time that they can play. If they just want to pull a rabbit out of the hat, I need to be able to punch it up at any time for them.
We have to just keep programming new ideas when we come up with them, which again is another reason we turn to a box like PIXERA, because we may have 3 or 4 different show files loaded on a machine and 3 or 4 shows of content. It gives us that flexibility to do different style shows, have them all in one location. So that's really helpful.
So this system that I designed essentially runs 4 boxes as a main system, 4 boxes as a fully redundant system. Yeah, the band and the creative team that we work with are very keen on the one-to-one redundancy. And yeah, I like it too. I mean, it's a great way of running it.
The redundancy is just, it's a habit for the industry. We try to have redundancy in all our systems, at least the last link in the chain before we send everything out to the house, so that we can recover from any minor mistakes or technical issues.
So we're running a discrete director, 2 client output machines, each of which output a 4 4Ks. Each tower in the show is a 4K signal. Towers 1 to 4 on box 1, towers 5 through 8 on box 2. And then we have what we call a utility machine, which are other various things for various scenarios. If we go into a festival, we need more outputs for IMAG screens, we take that off the utility.
Obviously, shows will change designs. Who knows what next year will bring. So we have to be ready for that. And because of the size of the show and the amount of machines required to have redundancy, we have a lot of flexibility with splitting out machines for future use. We'll see what happens. It's absolutely a custom build for the tour. You know, the standard fly pack we've toured with for many, many years.
And these barges are essentially what everybody in the touring world knows as a TAIT set cart. They've been modified, so we have doors that come down in front of it, all the barges, for transport.
It was an ask from production just to help with build times. The idea of sort of putting multiple racks onto one barge so you don't have to do the interconnects every day.
It makes the setup really quick and easy. It means we can keep the majority of the system cabled, because obviously there's hundreds of thousands of cables in this system.
With 4Wall being the vendor for this tour, they jumped right in with the custom build idea. Also being next door to TAIT and Lititz, that's a great hub of productivity, you know, so it was easy to get barges pushed across the parking lot and start the fabrication.
Because we're using the barges as we roll in and out of each city, we're probably looking at maybe 45 minutes to an hour to set it up, to take it down. Obviously, everything else that's out in the field takes several hours to set up, take down. So this is quick and easy. It needed to be quick to deploy, even though it's such a vast system of servers and cameras.
Yeah, we have to cut time where we can without losing the quality of what we're producing, for sure. We were originally using other machines, which we had been for years. We went to Soundstorm a couple years ago, flew in really light, and we were unable to use their machines on site for our show because we had notch effects and some mapping things that weren't going to work.
We would have had to change our show around quite a lot, remove a lot of the camera effects and reformat things.
There was PIXERA machines on site that were originally driving the surfaces. So Tom Denney, who's on our crew as well, was there on site. Him and I were able to reprogram a show overnight on the PIXERA machines.
So me and Gene got the show across to PIXERA, ran the show. It's a very, very good show. Yeah, which kind of sold me on PIXERA.
So that was my first sort of introduction. The support team was great during that time. Obviously, the machines worked fantastically. Interface was really easy to get into and translate our show into a new format. So that was the first introduction. Again, we're kind of running into technical limitations with some of the other machines. So trying to think ahead, and if we're already hitting limitations in ceilings with this show, what's going to happen when the next show comes around? And it seemed like PIXERA really had more capabilities in the box to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, this show in particular, the Metallica show, we have a fair amount of notch effects. There's a lot of camera work goes on in the show. I mean, we run 38 or something like that cameras in the show. So yeah, notch and camera effects are a big part of this show and the creativity of it. One of my big things with PIXERA is how well these boxes render notch effects. Normally, everybody's a little bit cautious when it comes to notch effects and them bogging down systems and dropping the frame rates and things like that. I have found with these boxes that they render notch better than anything else I've used. We generally can be rendering anywhere up to 2 separate notch effects at any one time, and they just seem to eat it up. I'm really excited to see what's in the pipeline, because I know there's more effects being developed from the PIXERA team, so I'm really excited to see where we're going to go with that and what we're going to get unleashed.